चैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees for today's session, Bhagavad Gita. Today is the fifth session of Friday. We discussed till second chapter, sloka number 8. Till sloka number 8 we have discussed. Today we will continue our discussion with sloka number 9. My voice is audible. Is it low? Okay, fine. Thank you. Let me share my screen. In yesterday's class, we were hearing argumentation between Arjuna and Krishna. Arjuna is trying to cover his weakness of the heart by showing two things. He is saying that he has intelligence or he has, clear understanding, that he has respect for his grandfather and teacher. So that's why he doesn't want to fight with them. And also, he is saying that he was saying that Arjuna, Duryodhana was very weak person, and what is the point of fighting with him? Instead of that, he has compassion for them, not to fight with them and not to kill. It's a compassion, he's saying. Not fighting with them is nothing but compassion. Then after that, Anjana gave several arguments, and also Krishna side also we have seen. So finally, Arjuna was not able to decide what is right for him, what is good for him, Shreyaha. So his dharma, dharma sammuda cheta, his heart is bewildered actually. What is right? What is his dharma? What he has to do? Whether he should fight? So because he's being a kshatriya, it's an obvious nature is fighting. That he has to do, or otherwise respecting his grandfather and teachers and elders and not to fight with them. Fighting or not fighting. This was what was his dharma at this instant. He was not able to understand. He is trying to understand. That means because of this confusion state, so he was lamenting so much. He is also lamenting for his relatives who may be killed in this battle because he has a deep attachment. And because of this lamentation, his all the senses are drying up. And this kind of situation, drying up of senses, one may say by getting the material pleasure, so that you can come out from this. Why don't you just fight and get kingdom and so get relief from this lamentation? One may say, but he is not at all interested in this also because he wants to know from where this lamentation is coming. He wants to know what is his duty rightly at this present situation. What is his right duty he has to do? And he wants to understand that very clearly. And if this is not going to happen, just getting some material pleasure that will relieve the this lamentation, no, that is he is not accepting. So he accepted Krishna as his guru, and he want to serve. He wants to listen him, and no more further argumentation. So that is the situation of the Arjuna. So by seeing the situation, what means Krishna replied, that is being said by the Sanjaya, and Sanjay is saying like this. Sanjaya uvacha eva muktva rishikesham gudakesha parantapa nayotsya iti govindam uktva tushnim babuvaha. So in that way, Arjuna, Gudakesha, so spoke with Rishikesha, that is Krishna. Nayotsya iti govindam uktva. So my dear, so teacher, master, I am not able to understand what is good for me and whether to fight or not to fight. And I can't fight until unless if I don't get the clear guidance from you. Like that he said, and he became silent. Tushnim babuvaha. Next, tamuvacha hrishikeshah prahasanniva bharata senayorupayormadye vishidantam idam vachaha. So, where they are, their chariot is in the middle of the two armies. Senayorupayormadye. And it's a critical time. It's not the time whether to decide whether to fight or not to fight. And by seeing this, Arjuna's attachment for their relatives, and because of that, so he is getting so many so different thoughts and trying to cover his weakness of the heart and the name of the so-called dharma. And by seeing this situation and by seeing the lamenting Arjuna, Krishna is Prahasanniva. Little bit he is having the some smile on his face. Prahasanniva. That smile, so he is replying like this. But here, the point we should discuss, Prahasan, why he is laughing? Aho tava apyetavan khalu aviveka iti sakhyabhavena tam prasam. What made Krishna to laugh or not laughing is just a smile. So a little bit smiling. Why? What made it him to do this? Because by seeing the foolishness, avivekaha, that means foolishness, not having intelligence. By seeing the foolishness of Arjuna, being a friend of him, so he got little bit smiling. But अनौचित्य प्रकाशेन लज्जाबुद्धौ निमज्जयन् इव इति तदानीं शिष्यभावं प्राप्ते तस्मिन् हास्यम् अनुचितम् इति अधरोष्ट निकुञ्चनेन हास्यम् अवृण्वन् अवृण्वन् च इत्यर्थः. So just by laughing, Lord is so just smiling. So that why he is smiling? Because this is not Arjuna's situation. Arjuna, whatever he is thinking, that is anauchitya. That is, it is not uchita. It is not appropriate. So, lajja buddho nimacchayan. That means just by showing smile on his face, that is making Arjuna to feel shy. Lajjam buddho nimacchayan. He is Krishna is what we say drowning him in the ocean of shy. So one side is crying. Arjuna is so much crying. By seeing that, Krishna is laughing. This is the thing. By that laughing, not laughing, smiling. I'm saying always laughing. So smiling. And that smile make Arjuna to feel shy. Because what is this actually? Now it's a time to fight and he is thinking to fight or not. And also, Krishna, when he started smiling, he didn't smile completely also. And immediately he stopped that. By adharoshta nikunchanena. Just then stopping that by controlling his lips. Stopped. Why he stopped? तदानीं शिष्यभावं प्राप्ते तस्मिन् हास्यम् अनुचितम्. So because just now he surrendered and he became a disciple. He accepted Krishna as master, as his teacher. And towards him, by seeing his ignorance, so if teacher laughs, it's not good also. How then student will think? So he already submitting himself as ignorant person and submitting himself as disciple. So in this situation, how? That means if by seeing someone's uh, impotency or lacking, if someone laugh, it's not good now. So that's why he is his disciple now. So teacher should have compassion, not the laughing. That is the situation actually. By seeing the disciple's ignorance, teacher should not just make it fun. Teacher has to feel compassion and help him. So that is the code of conduct for teacher. And that's why Krishna immediately stopped his smiling by just controlling his lips. Means he is covering his smiling just by, if you just make it expanding it, that is laugh, and if you make it down, it's controlling of that way. Like that he controlled. So in this sloka also we are seeing the Hrishikesha, and also in Previously, we have seen Rishikesha. Rishikesha in previous sloka, in the first chapter, is the controller of the senses. And in this sloka, we are seeing Rishikesha. So, with what kind of sense? There we have seen Rishikesha means the controller of senses. And Gudakesha, so we have seen there Arjuna. And so much discussion we did anyway. Now we are not going to that. ऋषिकेशः इति पूर्वं प्रेम्णैव अर्जुन वाङ्नियम्योऽपि साम्प्रताम् अर्जुनहितकारित्वात् प्रेम्णैव अर्जुन मनोनियन्तापि भवति इति भावः. So in previous context, Hrishikesha, how we have seen, Arjuna ordered him, so take my chariot in front of two armies. So just by the speech of Arjuna, Krishna was controlled. Of course, he is the controller of everyone's senses, but he is controlled by one person's one sense. That's a speech sense. Because he has his affection for his devotees. So that's why his devotee orders him, he follows that. So such a Hrishikesha. But now, so he is controlled by Arjuna. Now he is controlling Arjuna because he is the controller of everyone. Na? Sampratam Arjuna itakaritvat premnaiva Arjuna manoniyantapi bhavati. Arjuna's mind is not in a controlled situation. His mind is getting so many thoughts and he is running behind that and he keep on lamenting. And previously he is controlled by Arjuna's speech because Arjuna is his devotee. Now he is going to control Arjuna's mind. This is also out of love only. Premnaiva Arjuna manoniyantapi bhavati. He is becoming now a controller of Arjuna's mind. That sense we should take here. सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये इत्यर्जुनस्य विषादः भगवता प्रबोधश्च उभाभ्यां सेनाभ्यां सामान्यतः दृष्ट एव इति भावः. तो सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये इति अर्जुनस्य विषादः भगवता प्रबोधश्च उभाभ्यां सेनाभ्यां सामान्यतः दृष्ट एव इति भावः. So Krishna understood the lamentation of Arjuna. So it is understood by Lord. Next, Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Asochananvashocastvam pragnavadamscha bhashase gatasuna gatasumscha nanushocanti pandita. Now Krishna started replying to Arjuna. So Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Asochananvashocastvam pragnavadamscha bhashase gatasuna agatasumscha na anusochanti panditaha. So for the things which are not worthy for lamentation, and for those you are lamenting, and also you are speaking like a learned person, and you are lamenting for gross and subtle bodies, and a learned person so should not lament for gross and subtle bodies. So Ashochan Anvashochaha Pragnavadamsha Bhashase. Dear Arjuna, you are speaking like a learned or intelligent man, giving you so many arguments. And on the top of that, asochananva shochaha. For those objects, one should not lament, but you are lamenting for them. And in the second line, what Krishna is saying, Panditaha na anusochanti gatasun agatasuncha. A Pandit, a learned man, should not lament for gross body and subtle body. So this is the meaning of this sloka. So the Vishwanath Chakravarti commentary you can see, oh Arjuna, tava ayam bandhuvada hetukaha sokaha brahmamulakaha eva. Krishna is what he is saying. Arjuna, whatever lamentation you have, that is because of your illusion. And actually, you have this lamentation because of killing of your relatives. So that is the cause for your lamentation. Not that you are following the dharma. Arjuna is saying what? I cannot kill my elders because they are all worthy for respect. They are worthy for respect, not for the fighting. I cannot attack them with my sharp arrows. So, but actually, it is what? Arjuna's attachment for them. And whatever the lamentation is, senses are drying up because of this lamentation. That lamentation can come for many, many reasons. By seeing someone's pity situation, one also get the lamentation. Paradukka dukki. Vaishnavas get the lamentation because of pain of these jivas. Arjuna is getting that kind of pain here. Paradukka dukki. Oh, these are all jivas. Now they are drowning in samsara sagaram. And these are all now so going in a wrong path. I should save them. So by seeing that pity condition of this jiva, so Vaishnava get the lamentation. Dukkha, shoka. Is it like that in the case of Arjuna? It's not like that. It is Brahma Mulakaha. Brahma Mulaka. So Arjuna's illusion is the cause for this lamentation. And there is one more cause. Arjuna's, that means death of the relatives. Death of relatives is the another cause for this lamentation. Identifying himself as body. Identifying all those are belonging to him. And if fight happens, then they all will be not be there. They will be out. So he will lose them. That means he will lose those bodies. And this is giving the pain for him actually. Brahma Mulakaha. He is not identifying himself as soul. And on that platform, he is not trying to do his duty that fighting. He is lamenting for gross and subtle bodies of his grandfather, teachers, and so and so. So one has to follow his duty, so irrespective of that means any pain occur for the body. Now, in the present situation, we don't follow our duties. If we get little pain for our body, yes, you immediately change your duties. You immediately change your ideas. But that is not the right thing actually. If you take up the service of Vaishya, you accepted Vaishya Varna. And while tilling the land, you are getting the pain. And you leave that job, you leave that dharma, then that is wrong actually. Then you cannot progress spiritually. Because you are attached to your senses and body and so on. That attachment, if you give importance for that, if one gives importance for that, then what will happen? So he will keep on going behind that. He'll be keep on going behind that. And there is no ending actually. And he will change the another work. And there also he will get the some pain. Because this material world is full of pain and every activity involving with different kinds of the pains. Adi Daivika, Adi Bhodhika, Adhyatmika pains. And he will change that. He will change that. Where is the time for progress for the spiritual progress? Can he realize that? He cannot. He cannot progress spiritually. Tapodivyam putraka. Human life is meant for the tapasya. Human life is meant for austerities and bearing the pain. So one should bear the pain. Otherwise, there is no spiritual progress, even in the case of devotees or even in the case of jnanis. If your priorities and if your situation changes, that means if you give importance for the material pain and pleasure, you are gone actually. You have no spiritual progress. Impossible. So that's why Varnashrama Dharma is assigning the duties for each and every one. And it is saying strictly to follow that to so irrespective of material pain and pleasure, that will make that will uplift, that is going to lift him spiritually actually. Makes him he is not this body, but he is soul. That is the point actually here he's saying. Asochan anvashochasa. Ashochan anvashochaha tvam. For those things which are not worthy for lamentation. For those things you are lamenting. You are a fool actually. You are a fool. That's why he was laughing actually. You fool, you have so much attachment for your father's, your grandfather's body and your teacher's body and so and so. And you are identifying yourself as this body and you are seeing those are all due to bodily connection, due to their connection is there with your body. So that's why you are thinking they are all yours. And now after some time after the battle, so they will be not be there, then you think that you are going to have the big loss. And thinking that loss and you are started crying actually. This lamentation is not worthy actually. You are simply lamenting for what? Grass and subtle bodies. Katasun agatasuncha nanu sochanti panditaha. Hey! So a learned man will never lament for grass and subtle bodies. And for those bodies, no one will give any importance. So that means if one get pain and pleasure, material pain and pleasure, which comes out of the body, one should not so give importance for that, but he has to bear it and continue his duty actually. He should continue his duty. This is the main point actually you should understand here. Asochan soka anarhan eva. तथा कथम भीष्मम अहम संख्ये इत्यादिकः विवेकश्च अप्रज्ञामूलकः एव. A fool, you are questioning me. How can I fight with Bhishma in this battle? This kind of thing it is not the Viveka. You are saying it is a Viveka. It's a discrimination, it's the intelligence. It is actually what? Aprajna mulaka. It is due to your ignorance. Aprajna mulakaha. It is due to your ignorance. It's not because of your intelligence. Not because of your good intelligence. In present society also, people decide good and bad just based upon activities, those whether they are giving pain or pleasure to the senses. So good and bad cannot be decided on the bodily level. Good and bad cannot be decided just by measuring the bodily pain and pleasure. Good and bad should be decided based upon the spiritual upliftment. You might be seeing this, so many theories are defined by the Westerns, while jurisprudence, what is good and what is bad, and who are punishable and who are not punishable, what is offense. If you study law, there are so many thoughts given by the Western philosophers, good and bad. Some say good means for whole society, whatever is giving the material pleasure, then that is good. Someone may say individual, so any individual is getting any pain out of body, that pain is out of body, then that is bad. So they have so many incomplete definitions, and based upon that, they built the law. They build up the law and penal code, IPC, and this and that. This is junk actually, junk. A king always he decides good and bad, and he always see the upliftment of, spiritual upliftment of all his citizens in his kingdom. There is a meaning of rod of chastisement. One is punished because he is going or degrading to stop. That means the punishment is nothing but what? Stopping that jiva to not to fall down more and more spiritually. For that purpose, chastisement is given. So that is a core principle. That's why everyone strictly should follow their duties. Why one should follow duties? So for material prosperity, it's a useless. This kind of answer if anyone give. Why one should follow in the society their respective duties? What is the reason? Is it for material prosperity so that everyone follow their duties, so everyone is working hard and getting the, so material prosperity and wealth, and everyone can eat and be happy. Is it? That is the goal. That is the goal of the government. Government goal should not be that. And that government is also is in the bodily platform. That kind of leadership is useless. So upliftment, there should be spiritual upliftment. That is the reason actually to follow the duty strictly. Chaturvarnamaya system. Krishna is also saying, hey, you are stopping your duty, and out of what? Because of what? Because of pain. Because of the pain. Because of the just not losing the gross and subtle bodies of his grandfather. He doesn't want to lose that. And what is reality? They are gross and subtle bodies they are not permanent. Gross body's nature is what? It will stay for some time, maybe some 100 years. Then after that, it will be finished. It will just enter into earth. It's made up of 5 elements, and it also dissolves into 5 elements back. Finish. What about the subtle body? Subtle body will not be finished until the moksha. But when moksha comes, it also finished. So these are the two things are the properties of gross and subtle body. Those are not worthy for lamentation. You can't stop also. Can you stop someone's gross body to not to be destroyed? Can you stop the old age of someone? You can't. Is there anyone till now that so many big munis and yogis and so many siddhas came? Using any technique, could they stop that? No. It's impossible actually. These gross and subtle bodies are not worthy for any kind of lamentation. Asochan, not worthy for any lamentation. Sochahatvam, what you are lamenting for. On top of that, you are giving a big logic. I have wake up, intelligent. I don't want to kill my grandfather. I don't want to kill my teachers because it is dharma. So you fool. Like that, Krishna is expressing asochan, socha anarhan eva, tvam anvasochaha anusocitavan asi. तथा त्वां प्रपोदयन्तां मां प्रति प्रज्ञावादान् प्रज्ञायां सत्यायां ये वादाः कथं भीष्मम् अहं संख्ये इत्यादीनि वाक्यानि तान् भाषसे. अरे, first of all, you are a fool. You are in ignorance, identifying yourself with your body. And because of that, you are lamenting for the others' gross body and subtle bodies. And I try to explain you. It's a kshudram hridaya daurbalyam. It's a weakness of the heart. But you have to fight. That is your duty. That is your kshatriya. Your duty. And if you do that duty out of bearing the pain and pleasure from the senses, then you will realize yourself as I am the soul. I am not the body. I am soul. I am not the body. Because when pain comes, you bear that. You are not reacting for that. Pain, pleasure comes. You should not react for that. Then what will happen? So you raise yourself beyond the bodily platform. You will understand yourself as I am so. So that is the goal of following the duties. And that's why I want you to fight. And I told that, just fight. And when I told to you what you are, you are so speaking like a learned man, but you know everything. I tried to preach you, I tried to guide you properly. And for that, what is your reaction? Hmm? Your reaction is Katham Bhishmam Aham Sanke. How can I fight with Bhishma in this battle? This kind of arguments you are giving, like a learned man, but you are not. You are ignorant man. This is the condition of the whole society. This is the situation of the whole society. Everyone is deeply engrossed in the bodily platform, from the top to bottom, actually, from the big leader to a common man in the country. Everyone is in the deep ignorance, and they are all making the plans just to get the material pleasure for their gross body, which is this endeavor is always failure actually, because this material world is full of miseries. You cannot escape from the miseries. But the one who bear those miseries and follow his duty and realize himself as soul. So that is the fact actually. Krishna divided these four varnas and he assigned four varnas to the society. What is the purpose? The purpose is spiritual upliftment, not the so-called material prosperity. How it is possible material prosperity? How it is possible? This material world is full of adi daivika, adi bhautika, adhyatmik kleshas. How can you expect some good happiness here? How can you expect? Only thing is you try to so make some compromise. So adjust yourself here, but you should practice your spirituality, spiritual life. Okay. If you try to make material life is so beautiful, nice, everything nice, then after that I will do the spiritual practice. It is not going to happen. You cannot achieve material peace here, so-called material peace, by adjusting the material things. No, you should bear it actually and continue your spiritual practices. So Pragnavadan, hey, don't speak like a learned man. Pragnavadan se pasha se Vakyaditan bhashe, not to tava. Kapi Pragnavadan. You don't have any intelligence. You fool. Because this is the way actually. Teacher should be strong towards his disciple. Nowadays, if teacher becomes strong, then this is offense. Case. This is big offense, huh? Is hurting. But Krishna is chastising it. If teacher never chastise, how student will change? Student never change. So it's needed chastisement. Otherwise, he will not realize that he is ignorant. He think himself as a nice man, and he will be continuing his nonsense. So that's why teacher has to chastise. Natu tava kapi prajna. You don't have any intelligence. If now present society, if you say to a student this, you don't have any intelligence, then that is a big issue, huh? Class. Any class. So just make them ignore it. Don't make them to realize he is ignorant. Appreciate him, keep him always in ignorance, so that this is a fool's paradigm. All are fools, and they make the rules which are very much foolish rules, foolish culture, foolish propaganda. This is going on actually, completely on the bodily platform. And where they are going, they don't know actually. Just ahara nidra bhayamaitam. Only the government is looking for the trying to fulfill ahara nidra bhayamaitam. And that is not possible actually. That is not so-called that is not possible means just by material adjustments you cannot expect the complete peace in the society. No. यतः पंडिताः प्रज्ञावन्तः गतासून् गतनिःसृताः भवन्ति असवः येभ्यः तान् स्थूलदेहान् न शोचन्ति. Why I am saying you are fool? Because he is giving reason also. Not just scolding, not just giving statement that you are fool, but he is explaining that. He is giving the reason in the second line of this sloka. A learned man, if you're really a learned man, so how you should be? A learned man should not lament for grass body. Gata soon means gata sunaha. Gata means going out. Soon asunaha means gata asunaha. Asuna means life air. From which life air goes out. That is gata asuna. From which life air goes out. That is gata asuna. What is that? That is gross body, sthula deha. From this gross body, life air goes out or not at the time of death? Yes, it goes out. So that's why the object from which life air goes out, that is what? That is gata asuna. What is that? That is sthula deha. That means a learned man should not lament for sthula dehas. Because you cannot preserve those as it is for the eternally. Nashvara bhavatva. Because they are all destructible, they are all finishable. By the time is so powerful, it destroys them completely. Every minute, time is working. Chuck, 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 chuck. Time is working so powerfully, is bringing the changes in every object, even in the diamond also. Everything, even whatever beautiful building you built, it is also every second time is started destroying that actually. So your body, everything is already in the chain actually. In a industry, there is a chain will be there. They'll put input here, and that chain is keep on moving, and finally, it come in the form of product. Like this body, this everything is in the chain, in the process of destruction. And so that's why learned man, why he will lament for this stula there, gross body. Why? You will not lament, but you are lamenting. That is the one reason I am saying you are fool. Agatasu anisruta pranan sukshma dehan. So agatasun means the object from which life air never go out. Because this subtle body. So agata asu means from which life here never goes out. So that is nothing but what? Sukshma deha, subtle body. There is no life here in the subtle body. So then where is the point of going out from that? No, nothing. Subtle body means is comprised of false ego, intelligence and mind. So this subtle body is agatasun. Agatasun means what you should take? Subtle body. And a learned man should not lament for that also. Because subtle body is not destructible until liberation. So when someone die, subtle body is also is finished. No, along with the soul, it is also going and entering into the new body, and from there also is leaving and entering into the new body like this. Anyone, any reason for lamenting for that? No. So that is the nature of the subtle body. It is not. It cannot be destroyed until final liberation. And also, gross body is cannot be preserved. It is always destructible. It is always, yeah, everyone's gross body is destroyed. No one can stop this. So that's why a learned man should not lament for these two. And that's why you cannot stop your grandfather's body eternally to be here. And no one can destroy your grandfather's subtle body. And those will be there. And that's why you should not lament for these two things and you should not stop your doing your duty. So when you are in the material platform, you may get the pain. But if you bear that pain and if you follow your duty, then you will realize yourself as soul. If you bear that pain and pleasure. So that means that you are preparing yourself as you are not these gratis and subtle bodies. And that kind of endeavor will make you to realize you are not body, but you are soul. That's why following duty is very much important. It is uplifting you, it's lifting you spiritually. That's why you should not worry for it. Tatha swabhavasya dushpariharatva. Nobody can stop. Can you change the subtle body's nature and gross body's nature? Gross body is destructible one. Can you change the nature of that gross body? Can you make eternally? Yeah, many try. Foolish people they try. Instead of focusing on the spiritual upliftment, they foolishly try to make gross body eternal by doing this so much research. Those are the fools actually. They are all fools. And that is the nature. Who is going to stop this? These modern scientists, and they want to make 40 years less age. Nowadays, these kind of statements are also coming. They want to reduce your age. Uh, so, can anyone achieve? Can anyone change the nature of the gross body? No one. No one can change. Time is so powerful, it destroy that. Maybe you may try to delay it for 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years. But can you permanently make it eternal? It's impossible. It's not possible. No. No one can do that. Then why you have to worry for that? So that's why our main concentration should be on what? How to progress spiritually. That should be done. That comes in where? That comes when you follow your duty and you offer that with bearing the pain and pleasure, and if you offer that result to the Lord, not keeping with you, give to Him. He'll be, you will be out of the reaction from that karma, and you will be not bounded to this material world further, and you'll be released. You'll be released from this material world, and this principle should be the guiding principle for for ruling society. This should be the guiding principle. This is Bhagavad Gita. So, based upon this principle, a king, a ruler has to design his constitution, whatever, rules and regulations. But that is missing. That's why whole society is chaos, actually, complete chaos. मूर्खास्तु पित्रादि देहेभ्यः प्राणेषु निःसृतेषु श्वेव सोचन्ति. Only the foolish people will think for the fathers, grandfathers, and so this body. When life air is leaving these bodies, they keep on lamenting. Murkha. So, foolish people only cry for them. Sukshma dehastu na. Te prayaha chinvanti. Parichinvantyas taihi alam. So they are going to another body. So there is no point in lamenting for that also. एते ही सर्वे भीष्मादयः स्थूल सूक्ष्म देह सहिताः आत्मानः एव आत्मानां तु नित्यत्वात् तेषु शोक प्रवृत्तिरेव नास्ति इत्यतः त्वया यत् पूर्वम् अर्थशास्त्रात् धर्मशास्त्रं बलवत् इत्युक्तं तत्र मया तु धर्मशास्त्रादपि ज्ञानशास्त्रं बलवत् इत्युच्यते इति भावः. हे अर्जुन, so you are thinking that Bhishma Dev means gross body, this white beard, this big body. This is Bhishma Dev, and now this is finished by the arrows, shooting arrows, and then that will be finished. Bhishma is finished, and that's why you are crying actually out of your foolishness. But actually, Bhishma Dev is not this body. But Bhishma Dev is soul inside that. He is with these gross and subtle bodies. But he is not this gross body or either subtle body. That means you might be seeing so much material affection from your mother or your relatives. Those are all nothing but what? Changes in subtle body. Love for material people, love or the anger for material people, those are all nothing but what? Changes in subtle body. If there is a change in your subtle body, so aversion is also change in subtle body. So that is maybe displeasing a opposite person. And sometimes you may feel so much love for some ex-person, material person. So that is also, that love is also some modification of your subtle body. Some change in your subtle body. Some vritti of the subtle body. Love, aversion, material love, material aversion, all these are all what? These are all nothing but the modifications to the subtle body, or otherwise vrittis of the subtle body. And someone is loving means there is some modification in his subtle body, and that is pleasing you. That is modifying your subtle body. And actually, we are all different from these subtle bodies. Suddhopi vichasthe vishuddha kartuhu. Atma is completely different from all these two. He is loving that subtle body. You started loving that subtle body. So you say, oh, my nature, my nature. What is this? Nature is nothing but the modifications in subtle body. So you might be loving them. Some modifications of that subtle. And that is not destructible actually until liberation. And you are also loving because you identifying yourself also subtle body. And that's why you are loving those modifications of opposite subtle body. But learned man, no. He will never. He will never develop any kind of attachment for these things. Bhishma Deha. So these are all either he is not subtle body, he is not gross body. He is soul actually, and that soul is Nitya, Nityatva. So if that is eternal, then why you have to worry for that? What is the point of the soka for that? Soka pravritti reva. This kind of lamentation is not good. So that means now you Bhishma will be out. That means this is simply meaningless. नास्ति शोकप्रवृत्तिरेव नास्ति इत्यतः एते हि सर्वे भीष्मादयः स्थूलसूक्ष्मदेहसहिताः आत्मानः एव आत्मानां तु नित्यत्वात् तेषु शोकप्रवृत्तिरेव नास्ति. That means there is no point for lamenting soul. Soul is always existing eternally. That's a pure. Soul is different and subtle body is different, gross body is different. Soul is always it's uniform. It's uniform and is having the uniform swarupa. Every soul is having the ekarupa swarupa bhak. Ekarupa swarupa bhak. Jamatri Muni is saying, what is saying about the Atma? Ekarupa swarupa bhak. Every Atma is similar, having the uniform form. And that is pure. Suddhopi, which is Tehya Vishuddha Kartu. That is also pure. And it is by constitutionally, it is meant for what? Serving the Lord. And that is fact. And that's why there is no point. There is no point in lamenting for that. And what you are seeing, oh, he is loving, he is condemning, or he is having aversion for me. He is hating, loving, hating. All these are all what? These are all modifications in subtle body. Not from, they are all not coming from the soul. No. Material love and hating all are out of what? Out of the Maya, and they are all modifications in subtle body. And I love him because he loves me, if you say. So that soul is loving now. So there are modifications in the subtle body. And that's why, and that subtle body is destroyed at the time of liberation, not also finished. That is also out of Maya. So for what purpose you should lament then? There is no purpose. Toya yat purvam arthashastra dharma Arjuna. So when I said Atatais should be killed, then you said that that is based upon Artha Shastra, but Dharma Shastra is saying that not to kill elders, and I will follow Dharma Shastra because Dharma Shastra is more superior to the Artha Shastra. You give such a better logic. But my dear Arjuna, you should know even there is another Shastra which is superior to the Dharma Shastra, that is Jnana Shastra. I know that. Krishna is saying. Jnana Shastra is more superior than the Dharma Shastra. And you should know that Jnana Shastra, my dear Arjuna, and based upon that, you should act. Jnana Shastra, what is saying? Subtle and gross bodies are not permanent. Soul is pure. It is not having any aversion or attraction to anyone, and it is constitutionally meant for Krishna's service. It's Chinmatra Satta, it's Chinmayam. It's pure. And gross and subtle bodies are destructible and nobody can stop that. Then, and to realize that I am not body, I am the soul, one should follow the Dharma. Dharma Shastras are there to serve the Jnana Shastras. That means some author is giving the Dharma Shastra. What is the purpose of that Dharma Shastra? Like you have Manusmriti, Parasara Smriti, Yagnavalkya Smriti, like this many Smriti Shastras, Dharma is defined. What is the purpose of defining that? To serve the Jnana Shastra. That means to realize the things whatever said in the Jnana Shastra. That is only the purpose. So then Arjuna has to understand the reality. He should not lament for gross and subtle bodies. That is not good. And next it is said, Nattvevaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipa na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param. Natveva aham jatu nasam. He clearly explained in the 11th chapter, 11th sloka, a learned man should not lament for gross and subtle bodies because no one can change their nature. Gross body's nature is destructibility, being destroyed. No one can change. Subtle body will be existing until the liberation. No one can change that. And soul is different from these two. And soul is always existing. That is being said in this sloka. In this sloka, what is said? Soul is always, it was there in the past. From when onwards it was there. What is the birth date for the soul? Birthday you want to celebrate for the soul? No. It's not possible. There is no birthday for soul. And also there is no death day. Death day and birthday are there for only gross body. Even for the subtle body also, you don't have any birthday. It is also anad, but it is on the death day. For subtle body, there is a death day. Provided if you endeavor for the liberation. Otherwise, there is no death day also. It is also for Ananta Kala will be there and suffering. So, he is saying that there is no birth date. Natvevaham jatunasam. Oh, Arjuna, you can't say that I was not there in the past. Natvam na ime janadipa. Also, you can't say that You and these kings were not there in the past. That means these kings means what? He clarified already. Person means not the gross or subtle bodies, it is soul. And this soul is was there from when onwards? Anadi. No beginning. There is no beginning. From Anadi they are there. Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha. And also, you can't say that this soul will not exist in future. You should not say that soul will not be there in future. No, we all will be there in future also. That means till what time this soul will be there? In future it will be there, but what time? Till what? Ananta. That means there is no destruction day for soul. There is no pradhamsa abhava. Pradhamsa abhava means destruction date. Is there any death day for the soul? No. Is there any birthday for the soul? No. So the object which doesn't have birthday and which doesn't have death day, it is known as eternal. Eternal object. Understood? But the soul is there now? Yeah, it is there. That means the object which exists in the past, it will exist in the future and which is there now, which is there in the Bhuta, Vartamana and Bhavishyat Kalas, that is eternal object. Or otherwise, the object which doesn't have birthday, that means Pragbhava, Prag Abhava, Prag Abhava. And the object which doesn't have Pradhansa Bhava, that means no birthday and there is no death day, that object is eternal object. That is so. That he is saying here. So, if our closed people they die, we get lamentation. So, here something is dear to us, and if it is died and we get the lamentation. So, what is that which is dear to us? Either body or the Atma. So, the dear one is Atma only. किंच प्रीत्यास्पदस्य मरणे दृष्टे सति शोकः जायते तत्र इह प्रीत्यास्पदम् आत्मा देहो वा सर्वेषामेव भूतानां नृप आत्मैव वल्लभः इति सुकोक्तेः आत्मैव प्रीत्यास्पदम् इति चेत् तर्हि जीवेश्वर भेदेन द्विविधस्यैव आत्मनः नित्यत्वादेव मरणाभावात् आत्मशोकस्य विषयः न इति. So here the point is, for everyone, what is the dear one? The dear one is Atma only. So if you don't know Atma is different from the body, and if you know Atma is nothing but the body, then you start loving the body. But if you raise your consciousness and if you understand you are not body but you are mind, if you come to that level, Manomaya, that means these thinkings and this nature which is out of the coming out of the subtle body. So if you started understanding this gross body is different and this subtle body is different, that much you understood, but you didn't understand till you are not the soul. Then you start loving what? You don't so much give importance for the body, but you will give importance to your mind, or otherwise your subtle body. And that is dear to you actually. Then you try to uphold your nature all the time. But you are in the gross body level, you try to beautify this body and always see, so my muscles is this much big and I am this, I am that. That's a gross bodily platform. And you start loving that. But when you go beyond that, you understand gross body is different and subtle body is different. Inside something is there else. That is cause for the nature. The changes in the subtle body is nothing but your nature actually. Your nature means material nature, whatever you have, that is out of subtle body. Mind, intelligence, and ego. So then you start loving that. Oh, I am this, my nature is this, and I always do this. That is nothing but you are identifying yourself with subtle body. But Jivatma is different actually, even from that also. It's pure soul actually. So you started loving subtle body because you're identifying yourself as subtle body as yourself. But when you understand this is also different from Atma, then you start loving Atma. So all the time you are loving Atma only, but because of your identification, false identification, you started loving one time gross body, another time subtle body. But every time you are loving whom? Yourself only. But since you are identifying yourself as body, that's why you are loving body. But what is the core principle? For everyone, what is the dearmost one? Is Atma. Prityaspadam kim? Atmeva. But misidentification is there, that's why started loving the body and so on. You love your I-ness. I means aham, my. In Hindi, my, me. I. You love I-ness, I. That is there in the soul. But you identify that wrongly and then started loving that. Prityaspadam atma deho va sarveshameva bhutanam rupa swatmeva vallabhaha. Sukadeva Goswami is saying, for every living entity, who is the dearmost one? He himself is dearmost one. That means Atma. Let me show something. In Atma also there is I-ness. Aham bhavatvam is there. But when you identify I means gross body, then you love this. And also you love your son, your mother, your husband, your father, and so on. So because you are identifying yourself as body, and which are related to this body. That is father, mother. You also started loving those bodies. Because those are all you means what you are understanding body, and they are all connecting with this body. You love this also. So these are also dearmost for you. But main core is what principle? You love yourself. You identify you means body, and then that's why you are loving others' body. But when you go little bit subtle, and when you identify yourself as soul, and whoever is having a similar nature, either may be father or may not be father, and you see the subtle bodies of others, and which are having similar kinds of the impressions and natures, so then you start loving them. You start loving. Oh, I love my friend, even more superior than my father. Why? Nature is formed. So-called materialistic person's nature is formed out of what? The impressions which are there in the subtle body. Previous impressions, whatever are. Based upon that only he keep on getting the thoughts. And you like that thoughts. And you love them actually. That is because you are identifying yourself as subtle body, and whoever is having the similar nature, then you love them actually. But core principle is what? You love yourself. But you identify misly, that's why you are loving subtle body. But when you go even further, when you do Nishkama Karma Yoga and understand yourself as soul, then you love yourself, and Atmanyeva Atmanatishtaha. You will be always dwelling in yourself. That is nothing but the Gnana Yoga. That's Jnanis, they do. Jnanis, they do this. So Atmaram ban jate hai. Okay. So let me so time is so सुखोक्तिरेव आत्मा एव प्रीत्यास्पदं चेत् तर्हि जीव ईश्वर भेदेन. So this Atma is, even there is another one more Atma, that is the Paramatma. So here Krishna is saying actually, see, Arjuna, you love yourself, there is one more Atma, you have to love that also, than yourself. That's Paramatma also is there. That he is showing. I am also eternal, you are also eternal, he is saying. That means Atma is also eternal, there is a one more Atma is there. Beyond this Atma, there is one more Atma, that is Paramatma. Actually, Jiva love himself, but Jiva has to love. But even which one is more dearmost? Jiva for himself? For Jiva, this Paramatma is more dearmost actually, which is nothing but Bhagavan. But for that, even this Jivatma has to learn so many things from the devotees or yogis. Then it will raise. Actually, yeah, which can be more lovable, he himself or Paramatma, means Paramatma is only more lovable because he has more attracting qualities than he himself, soul himself. Okay, that will see. That means Paramatma is more lovable, of course. But Paramatma, I am Paramatma, I am also eternal. I was there past. You are Jivatma, and these are all kings are also Jivatmas. They were also there in the past. So Atma is not destructible, Paramatma is not destructible. Both are there, and those will be. That means they don't have any birth date, and also they will not die. They will be there future eternally. That means there is no death date. That means there is no birth date. Means there is no pragabhava, and there is no death date. Means there is no destruction day. That means destroyed and now it no more jivatma. It will not happen. So that's why there is no dvamsa bhava. Since the object which doesn't have pragabhava and dvamsa bhava, then that is eternal. That means jivatma is eternal. Okay, this is enough. Slowly. Next. Any questions? Only 5 minutes. I have to leave. बोलिए कृष्णा सोलंकी Krishna, can you unmute?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. I wanted to ask in which way one can get realization about what is the constitutional duty of oneself and how to understand which austerity is to be performed by one according to their varnashram dharma.
One has to perform his duties based upon varnashram dharma, that is not randomly selected. That should be assigned, that should be given by Guru by observing that the nature, subtle body, presently which mode is influencing goodness, passion, or ignorance, which mode's influence is more. So based upon that, his duty has to be assigned. Either Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. If he is in mode of goodness most of the time, then he'll be Brahmana. In ignorance, then he is a Sudra. Like that, he has to be assigned certain duty and follow that duty strictly to please to give the Lord. The result of that work should be given to the Lord. Then what will happen? Then he will realize himself as soul. This is the Jnani's Nishkama Karma Yoga means this. In the case of the devotees, they offer that result out of love, then that will connect them as servant to the Lord. That will make them to realize not just only the soul, but also on top of that, they will realize the constitutional duty. I am the servant of them. There is a difference between the Jnani's offering and there is a difference between the Bhakta's offering. Both they work as per the Varna and Ashrama, their duties, and they offer, both offer, but the difference is whoever want to become Gnani, they offer with detachment that to the Lord. Bhaktas, they offer that with love and affection to the Lord. So, by offering with love and affection, that will make them to realize themselves as servant, which is really it's a reality, it is fact. But when you offer that without any affection to the Lord, that will make them to realize they themselves as soul. That's all. No any other further connection with that soul with the Lord as a servant. That will not happen. So who will decide? Guru will decide. So that's why Prabhupada wanted Varnashrama college has to be started and this society has to be started dividing. Divide whole society based upon their Varna. And then engage them in the activities and let them offer that with out of love to the Lord. And also they should do chanting, definitely. That is must. And also they should work for for pleasing the Lord. Then when in that one stage they are completely surrendering to the Lord, then at that time they can leave this working as a Varna. So that also can stop and they can continue direct devotional services to the Lord. That is even higher stage. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Abhiram.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. As I could not question last day before yesterday, here Rishikesha is mentioned by 2 times. Actually, Arjuna is such a powerful person. He can control Krishna's senses. He can control. But why he is put into such situation, the same question? And again today, Krishna is again laughing. I heard that he is put by Krishna's will only. So why is this, Prabhu?
Because before leaving this earth, before finishing because when he was there, he killed Jarasandha, that means he made to kill Jarasandha. And he destroyed so many asuras in the of Kurukshetra Yuddha. Okay, when he was there, he was protecting Dharma. But when he leave means when he finish his leelas on this earth planet, visible leelas, then who is going to protect Dharma? That's why he wants to give Bhagavad Gītā. So for that Bhagavad Gītā, to speak Bhagavad Gītā, he created ignorance in avidya, he created for the Arjuna time being. And by the Arjunas, that means situation, like everyone in the society like Arjuna. That means Arjuna means the one who is affected with the avidya. Everyone's condition is like that. So through him, so he is able to give the Bhagavad Gītā. For that sake only he made that. Arjuna like that. But otherwise Arjuna is pure devotee. He doesn't have any ignorance.
And one more question, why he selected Arjuna only? Because all the Pandavas are also
He's a friend.
Pure devotees.
And he is devotee and he is a friend.
Okay.
Priya and Sakha.
Close friend. Others are not such close, Prabhu.
Everyone is not equal to the Lord. Everyone is different for Lord. He is having the different reciprocations based upon the different jivas. So among the Pandavas, I am Arjuna means he is having more love. Of course.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
For Lord, Radharani and Gopis, all are not equal. They are all differently. He loves them. Manjaris. But for everyone, he satisfies.
Thank you.
For you, everyone is equal in your family? No.
Mm.
You might be loving some child more and some child less. It's there. This material world is a reflection to the spiritual world. Similarly, in the spiritual world also. Based upon the spiritual attachments and spiritual different variations. So Lord's reciprocation also varies. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarupyascha kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur.